who are not here for our Zoom this afternoon. So like I said, you have two pieces of material. You have the worksheet from your red folder that says, how did the War of 1812 change the country? You also have your newspaper that we've been using for the last week. And we are on the inside of the newspaper reading the bottom right-hand side article that's kind of a purplish color. And there's a painting. That is where we are. I'm going to go ahead and start reading about the War of 1812, and then we can kind of fill out some of these answers together. So the title of our article, how did the War of 1812 change the country? Let me go ahead and zoom in so we can really see the article firsthand, especially if we can't find our newspaper right this moment. The War of 1812 is sometimes referred to as the Second War of Independence. This is because as a young nation, the United States was able to show its citizens and the country that they were a force to reckon with. They were able to hold off the British, the greatest military force in the world, a second time, which earned them the respect of other world powers. One of the biggest effects of the War of 1812 was the increase in patriotism, which we called pride for your country. It can also be the love you have for your country among the citizens of the United States. More states joined the Union at this time, which led to a greater sense of unity. Americans were proud of their accomplishments. Soon, art and literature would reflect this pride. Popular literature began to emerge, which would showcase the American themes, focusing on American settings, characters, and situations. The Defense of Fort McHenry, a poem written by Francis Scott Key in response to the American victory at the Battle of the Baltimore, would eventually become our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Artists began to create works that showed the hardworking common man. Along with literature and the arts, politics began to change as well. The Federalist Party, which had opposed the war, collapsed at the end of it. Remember, St. Clair was a big Federalist that we talked about. More money was used for the military during peacetime, as well as to create a more secure Western frontier. In 1823, the Monroe Doctrine told the rest of the world that they were no longer allowed to meddle in the affairs of the United States. America had twice defended its independence and would no longer tolerate other countries' attempts to dictate the policies and actions of the United States. So that is our article that we are going to be getting our answers from. So go ahead and take out this paper. Like I said, if you don't have it, I will post a digital copy to Google Classroom by the end of the school day. But it's not going to be right this minute. It'll be by the end of the school day. I do have to teach math before I'll be able to get it uploaded. So keep that in mind. I'll also post this video to that assignment. So our first question, number one, who wrote the poem, The Defense of Fort McHenry? Who wrote that poem?
Where is the poem? I meant, where is the paper at? Wait, what folder?
It was in your red folder.
Okay.
So who wrote the poem, The Defense of Fort McHenry? I know the answer. I don't want to share the answer yet. I need you to find the answer. It's in that article I just read to us. Do not see a lot of people looking for that and helping me. Thank you, Hank. Hank?
Francis Scotty, I think. Yeah.
Francis Scott Key. Yep. So, we need a UPQ. We're not going to just put Francis Scott Key. We need to say Francis Scott Key wrote the defense of Fort McHenry. Period. I'm just going to kind of roll through some of these questions. Hopefully you're writing them at the same time as I'm writing them. So that way your answers are going to be completed by the time this Zoom is over. Our next question says, what is the War of 1812 sometimes called? It is, I remember directly reading that. William.
The Second War of Independence.
Okay. The War of 1812 is sometimes called the Second War of Independence. INDEPENDENCE. The Second War of 1812 is sometimes called the Second War of Independence. The third question, we're going to be inferring a little bit, and I want to see if you think you know the correct answer. Question 3 states, who was the greatest military force in the world when the War of 1812 started? Who do you think we're going to fill in? Mason, what do you think?
The British military?
The British military. So who was the greatest military force in the world when the War of 1812 started? When the War of 1812 began, the British were the greatest military force. Oftentimes in history, you hear about the British, their Navy, how strong their Navy is. And so that's kind of what they're referring to when they're saying that they're the greatest military force, meaning they didn't lose a lot, they often won. So we defeated them twice. This is pretty, go, go, go. As soon as we are, filling this out, you guys are doing a great job. Question 4 asks, what party collapsed at the end of the War of 1812? What party collapsed at the end of the War of 1812? Anna, thank you for joining us. We are in our red folder. There's a paper, and you will probably have to go back and watch the video because I've done numbers 1 through 3 already. We're on number 4 of the worksheet. How did the War of 1812 change the country? So what's my answer? Which party collapsed at the end of the war? Olive, what party collapsed?
The Federalist Party.
The Federalist Party. So the Federal, F-E-D-E-R-A-L-I-S-T, the Federalist Party collapse. Oops, I'm spelling collapse wrong. C-O-L-L-A-P-S-E. collapsed at the end of the War of 1812. Wow, we're going really quick. This is only taking us about half as long of the time than I thought it would take. Question 5 states, what did the Monroe Doctrine state in 1823? What did that doctrine state? It's at the end of the article. It told other countries something. Carter, is your hand up?
Yeah.
Okay. What did it tell us?
The rest of the, wait,
Yeah?
the rest of the world, that they were no longer allowed to meddle in the affairs of the United States.
Right. Yeah. So the Monroe Doctrine told the rest of the world that they basically were not allowed to tell the US what to do, right? That they were not allowed to tell the USA what to do politically, right? All these people up to them and saying, hey, you should follow us, or you should do this, you should do that. But they're telling them, hey, we are a strong enough country now. We don't need you telling us what to do. So that is where that comes from. So at the time, I've got all 5 questions. I've got all 5 questions written down on my piece of paper. What's going to happen is I am going to go and try to upload a digital copy to Google Classroom. My friends that just completed it in person, you're just going to have to take a picture and upload your assignment to the Google Classroom assignment when I get it posted. I'm going to post it at the same time as the digital copy, which I will work on right now, getting that up there. I'm going to zoom out a little bit in case you need to see my paper, all of it. If you have your answers, great. We're going to stay on Zoom if you're in my math class. We're going to get started with math in 15 minutes. So I'm just going to put a timer up for 15 minutes. We're going to come back. You can take a break. You can get your simple solutions completed. Like I said, I'm going to be uploading this to Google Classroom, and you can use this break however you think you'll most be, how you most will get things done. If you need to finish an assignment like this, if you need to finish your SEL assignment, but just stay on Zoom before our math class starts at 12:45. Sorry, I was looking for my clock and I couldn't find it. So I'm going to be putting my timer up. And like I said, I'm working on that digital clock, digital assignment if you can't find this one. Yep, William.
Bye.
Bye. Everybody else stay on though. Okay, thanks. I'm going to go ahead and mute.
Mrs. Pierce, you're muted.
Yeah, I purposely did that. I'm gonna be running to go get my other computer so I can get the other thing uploaded. So, but I'm gonna, during this time, it's just a 15-minute break, but don't leave Zoom.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, you're fine.